Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. My name is Chuck McGee, and this is I Just Want to Talk Thursdays. I love this concept because there are times where I read a lot of stories, and those stories really touch my heart, and I want to share them with all of you, hoping that it will connect with you and it will lead you to the cross. Or there are stories that I want to share what I've been through that have touched me and have helped me grow, and hoping again that it will lead you to the cross. At the end of the day, that's what we should all be wanting to do, is become closer to our Lord Jesus and just be happy. Hey, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. Yes, the bell is so important because when you hit that bell, that means every time I do a video, you get alerted. And to all my subscribers, you guys are awesome. I don't need to say anything more because you guys are just spectacular. So today's video is about what am I going to do about my daughter's grades. So come on back because this is a good one. Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming back. Hey, we're going to be talking about my daughter's grades. Last year, you know how every year they take these scholastic tests, and so she got those grades back. And I wanted to share them with all of you. Now, I want to make sure that a lot of you know that, first of all, this is going to be a very long video, but I want you to really stay on board because I want you to know that this video isn't just about my wife and I and how great of parents we have been by putting her first, but it's about teaching all of you that you can put your wants and needs aside, put God first in your life and your children first and second in your life, and so many wonderful things can happen. So let's get this started. So the first test I'm going to show right up here will be English. Now, Kaylee scored a 727 on these exams. The state score is a 704, and the school average is 699. So we're so proud of her, and her studies are advanced courses, and she's just getting into her junior year in high school now, and she's taking advanced courses in 3 of her courses, and we're so proud of her. The next one is right here is history, and her score was 750. The state average was 719. You can see that right here, and the school average was 702. So again, gangbusters. We're so proud of her. And then the next one I'm going to put up here is biology, and she scored a 733, and the state score is 715, and the school average was 694, I believe. And so that's right here. And so we're just so proud of her. And like I said, the reason why I'm doing this video is because my wife and I were driving down the road one day last week, and she said, hey, I got an email from one of Kaylee's teachers. Now, she started school last week. And she goes, and I want to share this with you. And we always discuss things. And I want to start out by saying that when we found out we were pregnant, what we did was we sat down, many occasions, and we sat down and we said, okay, what kind of parents do we want to be? And we wrote it down, and we listened to each other, and we said we're going to put her first. We're going to bring back the old family ways. We're going to eat dinner together. We're going to do everything together. We're going to pray together. We're going to study the Bible together. We're going to do everything together. This little girl is 16 years old. She's had maybe 2 timeouts in her life, and she has never been spanked. I don't believe in it. I was abused when I was a kid. I will not touch our child. I don't believe in it. I don't believe anybody should raise their hand to a child, period. That's just my view. So today she's 16 years old, and I want to share with you this exam that she did with her class and some of the answers. There's just 4 of them, but it's kind of long, but I really hope that you guys stay on board because I was just blown away by this. So I'm going to read this to you. And what it is, it's for this assignment, you will be considering whether a history book or any interpretation of history can be completely objective. It says, based on the images of John Brown you've studied in this activity and you've experienced reading history textbooks, answer the following questions. How are the two depictions of John Brown similar? How are they different? Now, my daughter put, in my eyes, the only way the 2 depictions are similar is that they are picture of the same man. And the teacher said, great observation, because they put 2 pictures of John Brown up, One is, him dressed well, and one of them is a little, bearded up and a little rougher. And so he was asking these questions. Then she goes on to say, the first depiction of John Brown portrays him very professionally, clean-shaven, wearing a nice suit with styled hair in front of a plain background. The second portrays him in a very different way. In the second depiction, Brown is drawn standing on top of what looks like dead bodies. His beard is long and his eyes are wild-looking, with a rifle in one hand and a book, the Bible I think, in the other. These two depictions could not be more polarized. Now that's coming from my daughter. The second question, which image do you think is most objective? Why do you think this is? Hint, to be objective means to focus only on the facts and not to be influenced by personal feelings or bias. My daughter goes on to say, I think that both images are arguably biased. But I also think that the first depiction is the more objective of the two. I think that because compared to the second, which portrays Brown as a wild madman, the first shows as much more professional portrait-style approach. It can be argued that because the first image is portrait and portraits usually depict the one being painted as well-dressed and respectable looking, that it is simply a decision involving style and not biased. Now, my wife is reading this to me, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you might mean, because my daughter just amazes me, period. But, she's, writing this stuff, and it just blows me away. So her teacher responds by saying, interesting point. Most would argue that the first image is more objective because it is a photo of him at that moment. The idea is his dress and demeanor can be biased. And he says, Kaylee, this is next level thinking. And I'm thinking, wow. So just a couple more. Now just hang on, because I just wanted to share this with you guys, because I'm extremely proud as a father, and my wife is extremely proud as her mother, because we put everything aside for her, and this is the result. So the third question, how does each of these images of John Brown make you feel? My daughter says, the first makes me feel the same way I feel when I'm looking at any other portrait. It makes me feel like the person is professional and respectable. The second makes me feel a little uncomfortable because Brown's expression and general chaos around him. But it also makes me feel that it's a bit exaggerated because of the fire and the tornado. It looks like something out of a comic book. The fourth question, write an argument either supporting or opposing the statement below. Your argument should be at least 6 sentences long and cite a minimum of 2 sources of evidence. Now here's the question. History textbooks are completely objective and do not reflect a biased interpretation of history. Now my daughter goes on to say, we like to think that history textbooks are objective and unbiased, and historians do their best to provide the whole story. But it is nearly impossible for a human being to be completely unbiased. It all depends on perspective. For example, John Brown is among one of the most controversial figures in U.S. history because of his actions at Harper's Ferry. He led a revolt in what is now West Virginia, because he believed that force was the only way to end slavery. Many think of him as a man who wasn't afraid to die for the things he believed in, and many admire him for trying to end the vicious cycle of bondage. But some people also view as a radical who is willing to resort to extreme violence to aid his goals. He is portrayed so differently in the history textbooks of different groups of people that it is difficult to get a clear representation of him. And that is why I believe that history textbooks are not completely objective. That's what my daughter put. I love it. I'm not laughing. It just amazes me. And the teacher went on to say, well said, Kaylee. So far, you seem to have a right mindset to be successful in this course. I look forward to working with you. So I shared all this with you guys because, of course, I am proud, and my wife is proud as well. But I shared this, yes, of course, to brag, and of course to say we've worked so hard with her every single day But it started out from the beginning. Like I said, we sat down and we decided what kind of parents we wanted to be. And we used 3 words: God, love, and structure. And we've used those words every single day, even today. And she's 16 years old. She has an iPhone since she was 10. She's never made a phone call to anybody but us. Never a text message received or sent to anybody but us. And and sometimes when I explain this to to groups of people and why we do this is that we're not hardcore disciplined parents. We started from day one. Love, God, structure, God, love, structure, and we do it every time. When we go to dinner, our phones are never out, ever. She never brings her phone. It's about us as a family. Everything is about us as a family. That's what's not in our world today. Families are not families. Everybody is so out there, restaurants and soccer and don't get me wrong, but there's never time for family. It's always about the computer, the television, and the phone. Let me give you an example. My father used to own a bunch of McDonald's restaurants, and back when I was like 16, 17 years old, the drive-thru business was about 30 to 32%. Today it's about 72%. No one's coming in to sit down. No one's coming in to relax. We made our daughter a priority. We put everything that we wanted to do aside, and we wanted to say, we're going to spend these next 18 to 20 to 26 or whatever amount of years she stays with us. She can stay the rest of her life with us, all we care. But we made it about her, and this is the result. A young lady who is so bright, so talented, so well behaved, and we are so proud. It is amazing when I see a young man or young lady and I tell the parents, wow, you did such a great job, and they just get so embarrassed. And I'm like, hey, you should take that as a compliment because you guys have worked hard. And I'm talking to all of you. If you got good children out there, it's because you guys did a great job. I never once have believed a bad child, and there's a ton of them out there. They did not come out bad. God created all of us to love. But I've always said, they see and hear what we do. And if your child comes out bad, and 16 years old, a troublemaker, and got a foul mouth and this and that, it starts at home. So all of you that have those type of children, it starts with you. And a lot of you may disagree, and that's fair for you guys to do. But this is reality. This is how it works. And if you stick with your child, and if you stick with God, things happen. Rough roads are ahead, but you just focus on the good. You focus on the family, and everything will be okay. I wanted to share this with you guys because absolutely I'm proud. My wife is proud. We are so proud of our daughter, and we wanted to share it with you. We wanted to share our daughter with you. A lot of you have seen her on our Monday devotionals, and if you haven't seen those, I'll put a link up to some of those Monday devotionals because she did a great job. But hey, share this video. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you listen to this whole video, I appreciate it. Just tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me how you've raised your child or children, and share those with me. But like I said, share this with your friends. And if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. You guys are awesome. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day.